Hey everybody, this is Teyanna, and this is another episode of Tea with Tea. So, the country, well, the city, the state, the country, and the world has been through a lot over these past few days, almost going on 2 weeks. And we are getting there in terms of justice, in terms of changing the system and dismantling the system. I think the important thing to keep in mind is that this battle is not over. This war is not over. We are far from it. We have a tremendous, and I mean a tremendous amount of momentum right now, but it is far from over. We have to continue to dismantle the oppression based on our skin color, based on our gender, based on our sexual orientation. We have to get rid of all of that because that is not what is going to lead us to the future. It is the sisterhood and the brotherhood and the bond that we have together as human beings. That is what's going to push us forward. Not discrimination, not injustice, not oppression, none of that. So I just want to quickly mention to keep going because we have made tremendous progress over these past few days. But I think another thing to keep in mind is, because I feel like we always get in this weird spot when we have this big push of momentum, and it almost feels like a check mark has, been checked off. We have all 4 officers arrested in the murder of George Floyd's, in the George Floyd case, and it seems like a check off, but it's not like, the whole list is done. We are nowhere near done. So I wanted to take a moment to give you 3 things that I think will be helpful in terms of guiding your individual journeys along this really big road that is ahead of us. I just have 3 things, but if you have other ideas, other things that you think will be extremely helpful, please share them. I feel like another thing is that during this time, social media is a tremendous blessing. Twitter, Instagram, thank you for just being a platform where we can just share vital information. There are some flaws. I'd be lying if I said that there weren't any flaws, but thank you. So forgive me if I keep looking down. I'm looking at my list. But one thing, the first tip that I have is to look closely at everyone around you. When I mean everyone, I mean everyone. And when I mean look around, I don't just mean physically either. I mean like in the physical realm, in the spiritual realm, mentally, and also online. As you guys know, I'm a media person. I love all forms of media, different types of media, and I study it. I'm a media studies production major at Temple University in Philadelphia. And one of the things that I'm noticing is that a tremendous amount of influencers and companies have come forward in support of the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, there are some instances where some influencers are posing, basically trying to hop on a bandwagon. Like I literally saw a blonde-headed female influencer posing in front of, I believe, a T-Mobile that had its windows broken. Like, what's up with that? And then also you have organizations who have evidence of past transgressions, and then all of a sudden you're in solidarity. You admit to your faults. Where was that 2 years ago when Colin Kaepernick was kneeling? What's up with that? Now, that's not to say that, people can't change and people can't realize the error of their ways. I would be a hypocrite to say that. But one of my fears is that people are hopping on this bandwagon as if this is a trend, as if as if Black Lives Matter is some sort of, TikTok dance. Like, this is life and death for certain people. So to the people out there trying to take advantage of this and get you on a pedestal, realize the error of your ways and realize that first things first, you're not going to go unnoticed, and you will reap the consequences of your actions. So just keep that in mind. The second thing that I want to mention is during this time, please take care of yourselves. I say that to say what we are fighting and what we are dealing with is extremely heavy. We are dealing with the criminalization of Black people and people of color for no legitimate reason, just because of the color of our skin. So if you feel like you need to spend the day to just be in yourself, to pray, to meditate, do whatever it is that you need in order to stay healthy. I always mention Trey because Trey is just phenomenal. Actually, shout out to Trey for literally just going to that streaming service and creating it. You are such an inspiration. But he mentioned in one of his live streams that there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance to the fighting and, the other thing that is keeping you alive and keeping you going. Whether that be sleeping, whether that be reading, whether that be watching TV, make sure that you are doing yourself to love on yourself, because that is how you are going to push forward. So, second thing, just make sure that you're loving on yourself during this time. And the third thing that I have is continue to use your voice in your way. Now, I'll break this up in two parts. For me personally, I feel like during this time, I've been pushed by just this force to make sure that I use this platform that I'm creating and to use the platform that I have to speak out about, what's going on and to make sure that people are aware of what's going on. And then the second part of that, in your own way, people protest in different ways. People speak about injustice and fight injustice in different ways. For me personally, me fighting is me getting up here and talking to you guys, and also me on Instagram just sharing as much information as possible, and also, speaking my opinion about things, and also having deep conversations with my family. Don't underestimate what a conversation with your family can do in your own household. Because those conversations are very important. Those social media conversations that can happen amongst, tens of thousands of people, those are important. But don't underestimate those conversations that you can have with one or two people, because those things are extremely important. So use your voice in your way. There are a tremendous amount of artists who are oozing out their pain and their struggles and getting their voices heard through their art. There are people who are donating money. There are people who are volunteering their time. There are people who are out there on the front lines protesting for us. Thank you to all those people who are out there protesting and risking their lives. And there are just a number of ways to fight this battle. And I just want to make sure that we are not criticizing each other for how we fight. The thing that matters is that we are fighting. So I just want to make sure that you stay encouraged, because this battle is not over. It is far from over. I hear a lot of times on the news, like, is this the tipping point? Is this where we're going to get real change? Is this where we're going to get real reform? I personally don't know, but I feel it in my spirit that we will be faced with something, because enough is enough. Black lives matter. Black female lives matter. Black trans lives matter. Black non-berry lives matter. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. All black lives. I don't care where you come from, what your gender is, what your sexuality is. your life matters. Your life matters. And unfortunately, we live in a society where it has jeopardized that. But I believe that we are coming at a turning point because we are realizing that the power is in the people. The power is not in the system. If the power is in the system, then the system wouldn't need its people. But they need us. They need us more than we need them. And we're starting to realize that. So I implore you to continue fighting, continue making your voice heard. Because your voice matters, you matter. But yeah, this has been Tea with Tea. Stay happy, stay blessed, stay safe. You matter. I love you. Let's keep fighting because we got a long way to go. Peace.